Hello everyone, Mike from Southside Production. Today, I want to go through how to not pick your neighbor's shot. With a dynamic multi-camera environment, there's all sorts of stuff going on. There are all sorts of shots we need. The interesting part is that just because of physics and positioning, some cameras will have similar angles and overlapping zoom ranges. Thus, it's really easy to end up with 3 cameras with the exact same shot. Now, that doesn't really work because you can't cut from a very similar shot to the same thing. So, let's dive into that a little bit. The important thing is to know your camera. How far can you zoom in? How far can you zoom out? What's your angle compared to everyone else in the room? Are there certain subjects you can or cannot reach? Is there certain subjects that only you can reach? Learn your camera well, and that'll help you choose where you end up on those shots. Of course, you're not the only camera at that point. So not only does it pay to know your camera, but it pays to know the camera next to you as well. For instance, if you've got a really long zoom range, and so does your neighbor, and you're at a similar angle, there's going to be a good chance you're going to have lots of overlapping shots. What are you going to do about that? Part of it is learning the language of your camera, what your camera is there for, what the director intends. For instance, a director may intend to get mostly wide shots from one particular camera. Then how far in it can zoom is irrelevant, because the director is intending it for mostly to be used wide. That's another thing to consider is, what can I do well that they can't, and what can they do well that I won't be able to do so well? And of course, the other important thing is, where are we in the program? For instance, we always like to come in from our countdown with wide establishing shots. This is just kind of an orientation for everyone. Obviously, if your camera goes wider, you're going to want to start on those wides. If your camera can only zoom out so far, then you're starting on medium shots and have them available, or tight shots. And really, that's a good point. When you're able, you should try and peek at the program, whether that's on an iMag screen in venue or on a return feed if your camera has such a thing. What you're looking for is to see if you see a similar shot to what you have, but your camera isn't live. That means somebody else has already landed on that shot. And as good as your shot currently may be, it's time to move. Now, granted, you can come back to that shot if it was especially cool. Sweet, come back to that. But for the moment, if you know that somebody else has the same shot, change yours up. Go wider, go tighter, choose a different subject. Nothing saying you can't just grab a different subject. Chances are you'll get a different angle and a different shot. And once again, that's where knowing director's intent and your role on your camera really plays into everything. You might know that the director only really wants medium and tight shots from you, or only wants wide shots, or only wants certain subjects. Yeah, if your shot matches, you'll have to change, but be ready to come back to that. Anyways, that's all I wanted to zoom in on today. Until next time, that's a wrap.